Hello everybody, my name is Craig Bennett, and today I'm going to get into a video on how to price for your smart home stuff. Now, as far as this goes, where's this video come from? Basically, the following video that you see, the Verge does pretty good technology advice videos, horrible political videos. They're kind of well far left. But as far as the technology videos, as long as they stay away from politics, it tends to be helpful. But as of late, they've been kind of getting things either wrong or it's been very skewed. And I don't think it's in purpose, but just notice more and more of it. With this particular one, about 90 or 80% of the video, it's fine. But when they get into pricing, because they're trying to say, hey, you can make a smart home for $200, it's going to screw people if they follow this thing. And I mentioned it down in the comment section, and someone mentioned, well, why don't you just make a video to tell us what to get? So, why not? So as far as this goes, let's play this a little bit, and that way I can show you what they said, and I can show you what I got.
One of the things that you're going to need a hub for is smart lights. I think the best smart lights are from Philips Hue, and you'll want to start with their starter kit because it comes with that hub, which is
So real quick, few things. One, you can get a Raspberry Pi, make your own hub and do all that. That actually might be worthwhile. If I didn't already have both a Hue and a SmartThings system, then I might actually look at that if I knew about that back then. But you want to do what you got. And as far as this, how does this work at the end of the day? They get a little bit in that. But basically your lights is going to connect to the hub. Same thing with motion detectors, other things that connect to the hub. But once your demand goes an ounce outwards, you need a leak detector. You need a you need a window detector to see if the window or door is open. You need to have something else, some security system, something else that you want to attach to it. It doesn't work. For myself, I got a 3D printer and I have a smart smoke detector for it. And if the smoke detector goes off, then it triggers the plug to turn off so the 3D printer loses power, and it will minimize the damage as much as possible. And with Fuse, I can't do that. So this means you automatically have to buy another hub if you want to have these extra functionalities. But if you just want to stick with lights and just okay with plug and play, then this is fine. So it's a very specific case scenario that this is fine.
and hook up to your router so that everything can talk together. The starter kit costs $64. It comes with a bunch of bulbs, and while Philips has a bunch of like color changing stuff too, don't worry about that. It's just.
So I just want to mention that is a color changing bulb. I find that one interesting. He didn't say it because he didn't say that last little bit just because. Let me show you something. Which tab it is? So this is the color changer bulb. $50. $50 per bulb per. That's why he said it, because he's trying to budget it at $200, and there's realistically no way to do it. Whereas if we take a look at this, regular bulbs, $9.99, whatever. Color, you can get whatever, I've seen them $12, I've seen them $15, I've seen them, a lot of them are $20-$30, but hardly any of them is going to be that high as far as use goes. You might say, well, what about quality? Well, the thing is you'll find more than not the color and all that in some of these other bulbs is actually better than what Hue has. Now, the big thing to note is you may want to look at the reviews. Specifically, don't look at the star rating. That means jack. What you need to look at is the reviews specifically to see if the person is having problems. Like, for example, my motion detector out front door, people were having problems connected to SmartThings. They left a horrible review, all the other stuff. Well, on the product page itself, which they had to go to, by the way, to leave a review, it says exactly how to hook it up. So there you go. It's one of those things that their problem might be a non-existent problem. They might be idiots, or it might be a legit problem, or it might be a problem that you just really don't care about. Like maybe you just don't like the color green. They're fussing out color green. Something stupid like that. So just note that. Now, as far as the bridge alone is $52 for a kit. Kits are always cheaper than just the hub or bridge itself. For this, I don't know where he gets the $65 and the bunches of light bulbs, but this is the cheapest kit that Hughes has. It's $70, 2 light bulbs, 2 regular light bulbs. That's it. So yeah, that pretty much tells me quite a bit there that it's kind of skewed what he said, and I think that part he kind of knew had been skewed, trying to make it sound a lot better than what it was, and not really. But the thing is when you take a look at this, the hub for the SmartThings is $85. There's $85. The big thing with this is if you go for this version with the hub, echo, and some bulbs, then it's I think $114, but that's on savings. The kits with it is not as straightforward as Hughes, because the kits, you have to just go look around for the kits. The kits are motion home security. You got things like leak detectors to see if a pipe has blown. You got other things in here, left and right and center, like if a window's open, a door's open, that's open, that open. Do you have ADT? And they'll have things to work with that, and so on. It has all these things in place for that. So it's just take a look around at the kits, see which ones you like, and that should give you a heads up one way or another. Now, as far as the light bulbs itself, it's $50 for 4 of them, and take that as what you will, but taking a look at this, $10 per single light bulb, so $40 for 4. It's cheaper there. Ta-da. And as far as, again, with the color, it is $50 per light bulb, and again, you can get whatever range. Now, if you want to go super cheap, depending on your scenario, so my garage, I got 8 light bulbs, if I remember right, in my garage. This means that if I had to go with the regular, I'll be spending $100 on light bulbs itself. And where the light bulbs are, I don't even know if they are regular light bulbs, so I don't even know if that would work. The A19, which is the size of it normal, and all that. I'm not sure if I want to even deal with it, because we're talking about something that's kind of high up in the air. Well, why not just change out the light switch? Save money, change out the light switch. So the light switch itself, you're going to find about $30, give or take. So in my case, it'll be 2 light switches, so that'd be $60. So $60 is a little over half of what it will cost for the light bulbs itself, but the light switch won't give out, or at least it shouldn't. And the light bulbs only have like a 5-year lifespan, and that doesn't really matter what company you get it from. So yeah, that will automatically save you a crap ton of money pretty quickly. So yeah, that's a big thing to note. Now, if you have, like, say for example, in my bedroom, I only have a 1 light fixture with a light bulb in it, something like this won't help out, because it will basically be trying to just connect that one singular thing, and won't really do much for me at all. But if I had multiple light bulbs, or if I wanted to do something a little bit more advanced, depending on the thing, then I can actually have it, like, say for example, if I got a greenhouse that I can turn on and off with something like this, then that might be worth there, or something like that. But it takes very, very specific scenarios for the Hughes system to be more profitable than the others. So it's a big thing. Anyways, with these, you might be asking, how hard is it put in? Basically follow the manual. If you don't have a desire to lick live wire with your tongue, then the fact is you should be fine. As long as you can put in that thing without being evicted, or if you owned up a place, as long as you can just put in the thing and follow the manual, because it will say step by step, and at worst go online and look for YouTube videos and stuff that will literally show you step by step how to do it. Then basically you should be fine on that. Otherwise, there's plates that you can get on some of these. I don't have it up, but and I don't think they're as good, but there is some plates that you can get that goes over top, and it's a thing that will push the switch up or down, and you also have that ability. I don't think they're as good, so that's something to note. Now, as far as this goes, one thing I want to mention is there is side advantages to this. See, the thing is with the light bulbs, they have to always be powered on, otherwise you won't get the remote ability of them. So with this, since it is controlling a regular light bulb, and this is going to always be powered, you're not really worried about that. And on top of that, whenever power is lost and power comes back with any of these smart light bulbs, doesn't matter the manufacturer, they go back to a default state, which is on and white or whatever. So with that, with this, most of these, I'm not going to say all of them because there's probably quite a few manufacturers out there and who knows, but most of these, they will go back to the last state. And when you activate it, say light on, light off, or by voice, or you physically do something where you physically try to flip the switch, you will hear a click. It's an actual physical thing that happens inside of it, just like a regular light switch. So with that's how it saves the last state. Again, I'm not going to say all of them do that, but it is important enough that most do that. I think all the G's does that. But as far as that goes, let's go into the other problem that I have with this video. So the other problem I have with this video is, guy talked about plugs, smart plugs and whatever. So as far as this goes, you can actually go cheaper. So smart plug, it's $30 here. Well, you got $25, a little bit more, $14, whatever. And you got choices. You got quite a few choices, and this isn't even really about price right here. Let me try to get up to here. Give it a second or two. So $11, whatever, $13, and whatever. So, anyways, you get my point. Where the guy was saying, "Oh, $45 and two of them, $22 right there." And I don't. Some of these are Wi-Fi, some of them are not. That is Wi-Fi, so it wouldn't be what I would want. But a big thing to note is you have options like $24 and whatever it may be, and still, some of these are cheaper. A lot of these are cheaper. So the big thing to note is there's also a second problem with this. I'm not going to say that TP-Link has security problems, because they probably don't. They're a well-known company. But if you go with Wi-Fi enabled devices, the problem that you're going to run into is, especially the cheap ones that come from China, they can have hard-coded passwords, administration passwords onto them. And there's malware out there that is meant to infect these type of devices, and it will actually turn it into crypto miners, believe it or not. So you can actually have it where your plug gets hacked, and literally it's mining cryptocurrency for some guy in Iran or whatever. So this big thing to note is that you can actually run some cybersecurity problems because of that. Because of that thing alone, I wouldn't want to have that on the network. Now, as far as that goes, SmartThings and some of these others, I'm not going to say that they're 100% secure, because they're honestly not, but they're a lot more secure in my opinion than a simple Wi-Fi device, because I can say basically what has access to all the other stuff. So with that one in mind, let's jump on into another problem with the Wi-Fi, a bigger problem with the Wi-Fi thing. So let's just say that this is the Wi-Fi point and this is all your devices. Well, how your system works is it talks to one device at a time. And what this basically means is if it goes down the list and once it hits the end of the list, let's say that's the end of the list, it goes right back to the top. Well, the thing is this means that the entire system is slowed down to the slowest device that's available. So what happens here is that plug is probably not going to be high speed. It's probably going to be very, very slow. So it can theoretically slow down your entire network just by having it on it. So as far as that goes, the other problem is what happens if you got too many devices, because two ways you can slow down a network is by having slow devices on the network or by having too many devices on the network. Well, the problem with this is if there's too many devices on a network, this can create timeouts. And if you got slow devices or too many slow devices, then this creates timeouts and problems with things coming across. So this creates problems whether you're doing video chats or gaming or video streaming or whatever it may be, but basically you will start losing packets. So with that, there is a solution. It's basically take the thing off the network, and but if the problem with this is that plug doesn't look like it has the Ethernet area, and chances are it's going to be in areas that you really can't run Ethernet cables to. So your other option is change your Wi-Fi thing, your Wi-Fi router or your mesh network. Make sure it has a MIMO, multi-in, multi-out, which basically means that if it says 2x2, then that means it can talk to two devices at once, 4x4, four devices, and so on. So what this basically means is it will talk to two devices at once, and it'll cut the time to get back in half. So with that, if you got two devices that are slow, then it still slows down the network. But if one's hanging up for one reason, it won't. Like say for example, let's say for this first one, it's hanging up for some reason. Well, the thing can still talk to all the other devices as needed, which is good. Well, the problem is that MIMO multi-in, multi-out router, it is up in $100, $200 range, $300 most likely, unless you get a Wi-Fi mesh point, which most of them should be 2x2s, but still, even then, since you're dealing with a mesh network, you're still going to run into some of this problem. And basically, what you're going to have to deal with is just slow devices on the network. So with the security thing, you can fix that by segregating the network, making it where those devices can't see the internet. But this other, you really can't fix it. The slow devices on the network and too many devices on the network. The only other way is do some backwards method of having a second network just for those devices, which honestly no one's going to do. Especially if you're talking about $200 for your budget limit, no one's going to do that. So let's just get real here. So as far as this goes, this I would not buy simply because of that. Not because the product doesn't work or whatever it may be, but because it's Wi-Fi. If it was anything other than that, then fine. So with that one in mind, that's just some big things to note. Do your research and whatever. I'll leave links down below. But you can go massively cheaper. This only works in very specific user cases. If you're in a single apartment with a single light or two lights or something like that, fine. But other than that, it really doesn't work in your favor to go down this. If you want to add extra things, you're going to spend a lot more money since you're going to have that plus that. Don't fall into the same trap as I did. And if you got an actual house, you've probably got more than 2 or 4 lights. So yeah. Anyways, as far as that goes, hopefully this helped you out, and see you next video. Hope you have a great day.